Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'll be showing off my new and improved Ancient Gear deck for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So Ancient Gear is one of my favorite decks of all time. With the new Therion cards, I kind of spruced it up a bit, have a new build here, and I'm excited to show it off, so let's get right into it. Of course, Maxx, as this is the going second deck, Maxx is especially good here. It can definitely help you OTK, it can help you break your opponent's board, it's just fantastic. One Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. It's good in certain situations where you can't get into your Ancient Gear Fusion. Basically, you can use it as polymerization, or you can normal summon this guy to inflict 600 damage to your opponent. It can help with certain killing your opponent in certain situations, but most of the time you can just summon this card from your deck and have a free fusion summon. It comes up in certain situations, but you can definitely drop it if you don't feel like it's worth having. One Ancient Gear Box, a great extender. If it's added from your deck to your hand, you can add an Earth Machine with 500 attack or defense from your deck to your hand. Great for going into stuff like your Trencher, your Anchor Drill, or your Ancient Gear Frame. Ancient Gear Wyvern, the main search of the deck. If he's normally special summoned, you add any Ancient Gear card from your deck to your hand. He's the only way to really search your Ancient Gear spells, so Ancient Gear Fusion, your Ancient Gear Catapult, Ancient Gear Fortress, main way of getting into them. Only issue with him is that you have to set cards before you summon him, because once you summon him, you can't set cards for the rest of the turn. It's kind of weird because sometimes you're put in weird situations where you don't want to set cards yet, but he will lock you out of them if you don't set them right away. Next up, Double Frame. You discard a card, you can add one Ancient Gear Golem or one Ancient Gear Fusion from your deck to your hand. Great way of getting your Ancient Gear Fusion. Is level 4, so in combination with Wyvern, you can go into some of your XYZs. Or only one of your XYZs actually, go into Dugares. But yeah, pretty good card. Discarding a card can be helpful to get rid of stuff like Catapult, or to set up for your Overload Fusion plays. Next up we have one Anchor Drill, which when you normally special summon it, you can special summon an Earth Machine from your hand. It's a good extender, an easy way to go into your Ballista. In combination with Infinitrack Trencher. If it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon an Infinitrack monster from your grave, which will basically be your Anchor Drill. There's a combo here you can use with Urgent Schedule, where you activate Urgent Schedule, summon these two. They're effectively negated, but if you link them off in the Ballista, you can activate Trencher to bring out Anchor Drill, and you can use this effect to special summon a monster from your hand, which is a great combo. That's why we run two of these guys. We also run a copy of Heavy Forward, which is basically an additional copy of one of these guys. One Ancient Gear Golem. The reason we run Ancient Gear Golem over its Retrain is because you can't search the Retrain with Frame, but Frame can search the original Ancient Gear Golem. Also, you have Golem because you can use Ancient Gear Fusion. If you control Ancient Gear Golem or Ultimate Pound, you can fusion summon using material from deck, which is fantastic. One Therion King Regulus. This is fantastic because you can basically get a negate on field as soon as you get him. You target one Therion machine monster in your graveyard, you special summon this card, and then you can equip that monster you targeted to him as material as a equip spell. The thing is, you only need to target, so if your opponent called buys whatever you target, that doesn't matter because you still get to special summon out your Regulus, which is fantastic. He's a negate, he's pretty strong, he can help OTKs. There's a free special summon as well, so it can be material for anything. It's a pretty damn good monster. Next up is Reactor Dragon. Reactor Dragon is a good boss monster for the deck. You're not really going to be using his first few effects, you're going to be mainly using the effect where when he attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell, trap, or monster effects until the end of the damage step, and then at the end of the damage step, if he attacks, you can just throw one spell trap on the field. This can be good at getting rid of your opponent's floodgates. You can also get rid of your own Geartown, so you can special summon another monster in the battle phase and possibly OTK. Super Express Bullet Train is a great extender. If you control an Earth Machine, you can special summon it. So it's a level 10, which can go into some of your Train XYZ monsters. Also, if it's in the graveyard, you can add an Earth Machine monster from your graveyard to your hand. So it can come up where you're not able to OTK, or if you're going first. It's good. It's a good extender, good recursion. It's just a good card to have. One Harpies just to get rid of your opponent's back row. One Terraforming to search either your Geartown or your Therion Discolosseum. Overload Fusion because your main boss monster here, Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, is a dark machine, which is pretty cool. Next up, Ancient Gear Catapult. So you can target one card you control, destroy it, and special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. This is the main way you're going to go into your Golem, because Golem cannot be special summoned normally. In combination with your Geartown, you can go full combo by killing Geartown and using Geartown to get out Ancient Gear Wyvern, which searches you your fusion. Speaking of fusion, 2 into your fusion. I think 2 is a good ratio. You can search it easy enough. You don't really need more than 2. It's not once per turn as well, so if you have 2 of them, you can use both of them. Double Geartown. If it's destroyed, you can special summon into your monster from your hand, deck, or grave. Just a great extender. A bit tricky to use in certain situations because it can miss timing because it's an old card, but it's pretty good to run. 1 Therion Discolosseum. Basically searches any one of your Therion cards, so if you wanted to run more Therion stuff, you could run them. Also, if a monster you control will be destroyed by battle, you can send a Therion card from your deck to the grave instead. Doesn't really come up much, but you know, it's a unique thing you can do. Double into your fortress. Into your fortress is probably the most important card in the deck. During the turn they were normal special summon, your opponent cannot target into your monsters you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So if you get this up and your opponent doesn't negate it, you can basically do your into your combos for free. There are a few cards in your combos that are not into gear cards, so they do have a chance to respond. However, into your fortress into gear fusion, if you have the material in hand, is basically OTK right there. 1 heavy forward, it's a target for your into your catapult, but also searches for your Infinitrack monsters. Urgent schedule, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon a level 5 or higher and a level 4 or lower Earth machine from your deck. It's just a fantastic combo starter. Gets you into a free ballista. It can get into your monsters from deck to grave so that you can overload fusion. This is a fantastic card. Triple forbidden droplets. This is actually so good in this deck. You really need to be able to break your opponent's board, and what I like about this over Dark Ruler is that you're lowering your opponent's monsters' attacks and negating them. So you're still able to OTK your opponent. The main idea of this deck is to OTK. If you can't OTK, you're really in a bad spot. So Forbidden Droplet really puts you in a position where you can OTK fairly easily. And then Infinite Impermanence, just a good hand trap. That's basically it. For the extra deck, we have 1 Ancient Gear Howitzer. It needs 2 Ancient Gear monsters. Unaffected by other card effects, and during the main phase, you can burn your opponent for 1000. If it's destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. It's a great little guy to go into. Pretty difficult to get rid of. You can also use him as an extender if you need to. Yeah, and the burn for 1000 can help OTKs. Megaton Golem, you need 3 Ancient Gear monsters. Honestly, I do not use this card. It can come up in certain situations. It was way better when VFD was legal because it's level 9. But if you're in a situation where you need to use it, you can go right ahead and use it. If it leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can bring out your ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, which is another card that you don't use too much, but it can be an alternate win condition. If you get this out and Dugares out, you can have a 4400 attack monster that can OTK your opponent. It's not bad, but you really have to be in a certain situation to use it. Next up, Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, the best boss monster in the deck. It needs 4 Ancient Gear monsters. It's unaffected by spell and trap card effects, and your opponent can activate monster effects during their battle phase. So if this card makes it to battle phase, you pretty much win the duel because it can attack all monsters your opponent controls, and it does piercing. So once you get this card out and you make it to battle phase, that's game over. Especially in combination with Dugares. Dugares can double the attack of any monster you control, so you can double the attack of your Chaos Ancient Gear Giant to OTK that way, or you can double the attack of certain cards like your Reactor Dragon if you want to do lethal that way. We run Superdreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Liebe just to do an extra 1000 or 2000 damage. You can get him out using your trains, or if you have Chaos Ancient Gear Giant on field. In case you're not able to kill with this, you can kill with this. And Juggernaut Liebe, it's a decent card. It's a decent like alternate win condition. You could probably replace these 2 cards with some other links, but in this build I think they're pretty decent. Infinitrack Goliath is pretty good. If you need a way to get your Trencher to grave, you can special summon this card using its effect, and then you can link it off into Goliath, and then you can activate Trencher in grave. Triple Ancient Gear Ballista, when it's linked summon, you can add an Ancient Gear monster or Geartown from your deck to your hand. So this can get you your box, which can get you another card, or it can get you your Geartown. And its other effect is you can target 1 spell trap you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy the card you control, and turn your opponent's monster's attack to 0. So fantastic for getting OTKs. You can turn the attack of your opponent's boss monster to 0, and then you can use the effect of like Geartown when you pop it to special summon a card that can attack into your opponent. Verte, obviously we just use that for Overload Fusion. In certain situations you can use it for Ancient Gear Fusion, but most of the time it's just an Overload Fusion target. Nightmare Unicorn, it's fairly easy to climb up into this, especially since you're going into your Ballista. And since Ballista basically gives you an extra monster. You can go into Unicorn, and Unicorn can discard a card and target 1 card and field shuffle it into the deck. And it's a good way of going into your Access Code Talker, which In most cases, going to Access Code Talker needs you to go into your Urgent Schedule, and Urgent Schedule prevents you from attacking with non-machine monsters. So you can still get the pops off this card, and you can still go into this without Urgent Schedule, but most of the time you'll be summoning this to destroy opponent's cards and then going into something like Verte Anaconda to go into your Chaos Enter Giant and win from there. And that's it for the new and improved Ancient Gear deck profile. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Ancient Gear is my favourite deck, so I definitely want to know how to improve it. But I think this build is pretty damn good, and I've had a lot of fun using it. So thanks for watching. Check out my Ancient Gear videos where I show off this deck in practice.